to Java. This is regarding returning empty collections or arrays, not nulls. Let's understand few recommendations through some examples. So let's consider this example wherein I want to return a list of elements, right? So if a list is empty, I want to return null, and if list is having some elements, I will encapsulate that list in a new instance of array list. This all looks fine. Let's consider this test which tries to consume this method. So it is checking whether it contains this element B. If it contains, it will print a message. If it doesn't contain, it will print another message that no names found. Let's run this and see the output. So collection contains the element B, so it prints the expected message. Let's see what will happen if this list is empty. Let's delete these elements and run this program again. As you can see, now it has printed the null pointer exception. So we got the null pointer exception at this place. So the names is null because we are returning null if the names is empty. So this makes us to handle the null here. So if we handle the null, so then we get the no names found as expected. As you can see, so this has made the code more verbose and error prone. So one drawback is I need to see if it is empty, and then I have to return the null. If it is not empty, then I have to return all the elements. And from the client side, I have to always be careful when I'm consuming an list or any collection returning method. Before consuming, I need to check for the null. So this is error prone. How we can improve this? Let's see a better way of handling this kind of situations. So we have a method here, get names right way, and we have a same way like we have a list of elements here, and I'm just returning names in array list. That's all we need to do here. Let's see how this can avoid the issues which we see earlier. Let me remove the null check, and I will call the get names right way and run the same program again. Okay, so it contains the required name B. Let's say if it is empty. So what will happen now? So I got the no names found. So that's the advantage with this approach, and need not check for the null in the consuming side. So it is less verbose and more clear to the consumers. So this is the most recommended way while returning empty collections. And some may argue that these empty collections, basically if it doesn't contain any elements, it will create a new instance of array list with no elements. So creating an instance with no elements, it may have some performance impact. Although there are no practical evidence that it may have a performance impact, if at all, if you found that there are some performance impact, then the alternative approach could be, instead of returning the array list with empty collection, you can use the already available immutable instance which is provided by the collections. So this collections utility class has this collections.empty list, and you can use this list when you find that a list is empty. So this is one of the optimized way, although you may not require this so frequently, but if at all you see that there is a performance impact, you can prefer this approach. So as you can see, empty list is one of the method, and along with that you will have a bunch of other methods for different types of collections like empty list, empty map, empty set. So various other uh, methods for various other collections. So same rules will other issues with arrays. Let's consider this example where I have a list of elements and I return an array from this list. So basically I check if list is empty, I will return the null. If it is not empty, I will convert that into an array. And to convert them into an array, I pass an empty array as an input to the toArray method. So this will basically take care of converting the list into an array. If I run this, so this is fine if array is not empty. Let's make this array as empty. So as you might expect, so this will throw the null pointer exception. Same way as we handled in the earlier case, we need to handle the null here. So same issues with the earlier examples. So we need to handle the null here and we need to return the null. And whenever we are consuming this kind of methods which return the array, we need to be careful to handle the null before making use of the returned output. So this makes the code error prone. So how we can handle it better way? So instead of returning null, we can simply convert the list into an array and we can pass the empty array to indicate the type of the elements. Let's call this method. So not an empty array, which is the expected output. Let me make this empty array. So we need not handle any null check or anything as such. So this makes code more cleaner and less error prone. And again, some may argue that there could be some performance impact because we are creating an empty array. So in those cases, there is another way where we can create our own immutable static instance of an empty array and we can reuse it wherever we want to return the empty array. For example, here I have created an array list and I'm converting that list into an array using this immutable static instance. So this empty names is nothing but just a array with 0 elements, just to indicate the type of elements in an array. So these are some of the way and recommendations how we can handle it in a better way when we are returning an empty collection or an array with 0 elements. I hope this is useful and I will see you in the next item. Thank you.